We're at Stillhouse Cove in Cranston, right off of Narragansett Boulevard, and we are working on a salt marsh restoration project which includes creating new creeks in the salt marsh to allow fresh water that's coming from the upland to drain off the marsh so that it doesn't create conditions that are ideal for the invasive plant Phragmites. This is the second phase of this restoration project. About 4 years ago, with partners including the City of Cranston, the Edgewood Waterfront Improvement Association, Natural Resources Conservation Service, and DEM's Mosquito Abatement Program, we came in and created some creeks as well as removed material from the upper part of this marsh. Behind me basically was a wall of Phragmites. You could not have seen any of the excavator back there, any of the cars along Strathmore. It was probably Phragmites about 12 to 15 feet high. So this whole high marsh area has come back in the last 4 years, but there's still sections of Phragmites that have continued to grow, and we've been treating with an herbicide. But our goal is to come up with a more sustainable approach to addressing the Phragmites by allowing the fresh water, again, that's coming from the upland to drain off the marsh and get out into Narragansett Bay.
We as a neighborhood organization realized that what was needed here at Stillhouse Cove went beyond our abilities, individually and collectively, to bring about the kind of change and the kind of improvements and to open the area up to the public in a way that was compatible with the rest of the neighborhood. So we started to work with Save the Bay and CRMC and the City of Cranston and DEM and NRCS, because we realized they had all the technical resources and the professional services that were needed to bring about a salt marsh restoration, because we knew this piece of property was complicated and fragile and valuable in terms of what it brings to the neighborhood, in terms of open space and open vistas and just a beautiful terrain at all times of the year in a neighborhood that's densely populated and really limited in terms of its non-athletic open space.
This is Al Getman with Rhode Island DEM's Mosquito Abatement Program. He's the Mosquito Abatement Coordinator for the state, and Al is integral to many salt marsh restoration projects that we work on because he looks at salt marshes in a different way. He is concerned about mosquito breeding habitat in salt marshes and has been providing us guidance on how to reduce mosquito breeding habitat at this marsh at Stillhouse Cove.
Yes, many of our salt marshes have that mosquito production problem. Often the problem is old man-made ditches that have become clogged over the years due to no maintenance, and ironically now make mosquitoes. So when we get into these restoration projects, I want to see to it that that component is taken care of.
So right behind us, Al looked at a ditch that was dug. It was probably dug back in the 1930s or 40s.
No doubt. This ditch was probably dug back in that time period and probably was open all the way to the ocean, but then natural storm processes plugged up that end. And then over the years, no maintenance has led to this ditch becoming clogged here and there, and it was a perfect example of what I just said, that great irony of an old man-made ditch meant to reduce mosquitoes, now making mosquitoes. So what we've done here yesterday, in fact, is we took our excavator and filled in portions of the ditch that were previously, was holding water and was a perfect mosquito production site. So
we've accomplished multiple things, restoring the health of the salt marsh here, as well as reducing the mosquito breeding habitat, which helps people who are literally, there's a public park just beyond us, so this is heavily used by the public, and reducing the amount of mosquitoes that are produced from this marsh helps with regards to people's enjoyment of the site as well as addresses public health issues.
I think it's really important and valuable that we have an organized neighborhood association, because the contributions that the individual members bring to this project are contributions that have led to our being able to execute a complicated restoration like we have here at Stillhouse Cove. Our local government, and with all of these agencies that have trusted us to execute this project in a way that has led to this particular piece of property getting the attention it deserves, and the attention not only with people who travel by, but with people who live within walking distance and who are not looking out at the water, or who don't have access to the water in their own neighborhood, but who work in Cranston or travel through Cranston. It's just having that association has been an important component to getting the support and gaining the credibility to do this project.